So, hello, my friends. Just a follow up. I had done recently the video about the Motormax American Graffiti 71 Mustang. I bought a lot of these and I'm sending some of them out to some good friends here in the diecast community. And, you know, so anytime I show this one off, I get a lot of interest in it. Some people have never heard of the Motormax brand, and they're surprised to see this 1978 Thunderbird. They're the only company I'm aware of that does this Thunderbird, especially in a stock street. The only thing not stock about this is on one side it has the American Graffiti decal there, and it has Krager wheels instead of the 10-spoke wheels that I had on mine. But it's a very good representation of a 78 T-Bird. And for people that are familiar, I mean, I just read a comment a few moments ago where somebody said that that's their white whale or unicorn. And I got this way back in like '05 or '07 or whenever, 15 years ago. I found this in the store in KB stores, and I've had it in my collection since. And I just opened it for the first time last year. It had been on card all these years, as with most of my collection. Now most of my collection is open. So those two are the only, those two are the main American Graffiti. This is one I found this year, the American Graffiti Moments in Time diorama. And this wasn't too bad. There are some that are very expensive. There's one with an Omni 024 Plymouth Horizon, not an 024, a Plymouth Horizon. There's a Dodge Diplomat. There's a mechanic scene with a Pinto. There's several, and they are quite pricey. This one I got this year on eBay, and this has a Crown Victoria taxi, and so the copyright on this must be like 2007 or so at least, because this is that era of Crown Victoria. So Motormax are, in my opinion, a near, but no, they're a premium diecast brand. So you have American Graffiti, these three. I've mentioned the Fresh Cherries, and most people seem to be familiar with those. And they do some quirky cars. Here's the 74 AMC Gremlin, the 1974 AMC Hornet, and these are mostly just a little bit overscale. They're not true 164, all of them. Some of them are 160 and so forth. Now, funny enough, the American Graffiti Mustang and Thunderbird, I believe, are proper scale, and this Mustang I think is close to true 164. This is also a 71 Ford Mustang sports roof, but not a Boss 351. And these Fresh Cherries can be some really quirky. I mean, like you see the two AMCs. Here's a 78 Chevy Chevette. They are a great series, and they can be quite expensive. Here is a 1970 Ford Pinto, this one in blue, and I sent one off to my friend Damien Big Dappuccino. And here is a 1977 Ford Mustang 2 in green. One of only two Mustang 2s I have. I have a green light Charlie's Angels version. And I've opened all these packages. They're just stored in the packages. And then there were two more series I showed last night, not last night, the other day. This Exotic Rides series from Motormax, and this is the Mercedes. I'm terrible about Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, and they have Lamborghinis in that series. Here is the first Fresh Cherries I ever got. Is this white Ford Maverick, and I sent a few of these overseas to friends. And then I had almost forgot there was another series I mentioned and I didn't show them, and they are the Hi-RiserZ. And this Crown Victoria is jacked up in a donk or bubble, the big 28-inch wheels or so. There we go. They're high. I'm sorry, not riders. Hi-RiserZ series, and they've got funky paint jobs and huge wheels. They're not jacked up 4x4s. They're on huge wheels, and they're this one's rear wheel drive and so forth. And I bought them for a fair price, and this is the only Lincoln Navigator I have in 164. So Motormax, a lot of us are familiar with them because they do 1/24th scale and 1/18th scale cars, but for about a decade or so, they did 1/64 scale. And they're not Kyosho or TLV or Auto World, but they are a premium. They're not always perfect 1/64 scale, but they're very realistic looking, with the exception of these Hi-RiserZ. But I mean, that's the point of these. These actually are sort of realistic looking because people do lift the suspension and put these big tires on them. It's probably more of a like a Georgia, Florida, the South, and maybe the West Coast, maybe Texas. But up here in the Northeast, it's I've never seen many of these. I think they're more of a regional favorite. So this is just a quick video on different series that Motormax does in 164. A lot of people, when they first find my channel and they hear about Motormax, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know they did that scale," because they do, the much larger scale. I do not know if they still do these scale cars. I just know that I've been fortunate over the years. I think I have currently about 13 Motormax from 4 different series in my collection. So, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if you have any Motormax. I know a few people that I sent, and that I know a few people have mentioned the Fresh Cherries. And again, my European friends, remind me if they're called Fresh Cherries in Europe. And this American Graffiti is not called American Graffiti, but it's just called Motormax Moments in Time diorama overseas. There's no connection between any of these American Graffiti cars and the 2 American Graffiti movies. Absolutely none. Well, that's not entirely true. They do a diorama. Actually, I think they do 2 different of the dioramas, Moments in Time. And is it just one? They are, one of them is John Milner's 32 5-window coupe, the good guy car from the first American Graffiti film. But the American Graffiti film was out 10 years before, well, not out 10 years, but the time period the movie took place was out 10 years before the Thunderbird or the Mustang were even in production, these particular Mustangs. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any Motormax. Other than sending a few out to friends, I don't see myself getting any more Motormax right now because of cost. The ones that I want are quite expensive, and I will wait. I always say it is being patient, a waiting game. Don't be so impulsive, and look for bargains. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.